Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some NBA with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, little NBA talk here, different than what I usually do in most videos. But anyway, Shaquille O'Neal recently came out, and he said he made some statements about his 2001 Lakers team and how they could beat the Golden State Warriors in a hypothetical series if they would ever play each other. So obviously, what I will talk about in this video will be subjective. It's just all hearsay. But you're likely to chime in the comments down below if you feel differently or agree with what I'm about to say. So I'll get into his quotes. And let's keep in mind that before, when Shaquille O'Neal was playing, the rules back then allowed him to be the physical dominant force he was. And the reason the Golden State Warriors are the team you see today is because the rule changes have allowed for teams with free-flowing offenses to space the floor. And there aren't as many dominant big men, so it's just a different game these days. It's always hard to compare these things, but it'll be fun to talk about. So we'll get into the quotes of what Shaq said. He said, I quote, "If you're using those rules, we'd win. Now we use these rules these days, we'd still win because you wouldn't be able to touch me and you wouldn't be able to touch Kobe Bryant. So yeah, that's how I always look at it." Now, the 2001 Lakers, great team. That version of the Lakers, the whole era of Lakers basketball, they were the premier team in basketball. That team went on to go to have a three-peat, and they broke the postseason record. They had a postseason record for the best record of all time. They won 15-1. You know, so 15-1 is nothing to scoff at. That's impressive as hell, and it pisses me off sometimes when they are not talked about as one of the best teams of all time. You know, we get a lot of talk of the '96 Bulls, this Warriors team, the Laker teams of the '80s, the Celtic teams of the Bill Russell days, the Celtics teams with Larry Bird on them. But this team kind of gets overlooked for whatever reason because it wasn't as long ago as the other teams I just mentioned. But I'm gonna have to agree with Shaq because I'll say this. Forget about everybody else in the Lakers. Let's just talk about the two teams' best players on each team. On the Lakers, we have Shaquille O'Neal, the most physically imposing low post presence and force the NBA has seen in the last half century. The guy, for all the talk of, I have people who don't know basketball have often told me, Brendan, Shaq's only good because he's big. And I say that's nonsense. There's plenty of guys that are big. Very few of them are, athletic, have footwork, just have the keen ability to dominate a basketball game down low. And Shaq knew how to do that better than anybody that I've ever seen play. And, Prime Shaq, people forget how great Prime Shaq was. Hands down the best player on the Lakers at that time, more so than Kobe Bryant for sure. If you want to know how great Prime Shaq was, just go on YouTube and pull up the 60-point game he had against the Clippers on his birthday in 2001, I believe. Wow, I mean, just that game alone, I remember the Clippers had fronted him somewhere in the middle of the paint, and I remember one of the Laker guards, can't remember who it was, had the ball, and he did a half spin move as he was being fronted around the defender, and the ball was already in the air as he did the spin move, and he caught the ball like right about here, and full extension just jammed it home, and it was that type of athletic ability and execution that made Shaquille O'Neal one of the most dominant forces in NBA history, and just his ability to draw double and sometimes triple teams would be too much for the Warriors. You can't downsize. The Warriors love to downsize and put these smaller lineups in. They usually, when they want to get momentum and look for three-pointers, they put a lineup of Steph Curry as a third-point guard, Klay Thompson as a shooting guard, Harrison Barnes as a small forward, Andre Iguodala as the power forward, and then Draymond Green at center. That wouldn't fly with the Los Angeles Lakers of that year. Just wouldn't fly because of the whole Shaquille O'Neal factor. On top of that, I think that Warriors team would be a lot. Ironically enough, will match up a lot better against the '96 Bulls. Even though the Bulls have two of the best perimeter defenders of all time, and Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and they're not going to get dominated as bad down low. And when you can shoot from the distance the Steph Curry and Klay Thompson can, I think it makes it very, very hard for anybody to guard them. So it's a different era, but I definitely think the Lakers team matches up well with any team in NBA history. And I have to agree with Shaq's statement. I think that Lakers team would beat this Warriors team for sure. And I think I take them again. I would bet my money against most teams in NBA history. They match up well with anybody. But basketball fans out there, let me know what you think. Do you think the 2001 Lakers would beat the Golden State Warriors in a hypothetical 7-game series? Let me know why. And leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe. And you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.